art of searching for and seeking to find one's tribe. As yet, in the midst of ironing out and smoothing the creases and rough edges of the recent Wastara initiation, entering into its wisdom via the intense efforts put out, put up, and put in up to this point, which is of course no longer enough, but not because what's been done was in vain or wrong. Nay, because now's the time to take what's been learned and step it up a notch, by several degrees no less, during this here lunar half-month period from 414 to 429, though not in terms of some grand overhaul per se, rather more in that the efforts be more finely focused at and or on all levels of being, where there be much power found in such subtlety, as this bi-week stayed MANAS suggests, shifting from a deep animistic observance of the latest happenings to a more communal expression of what was taken from it. And having entered at a point where a completely new perspective has been gained, in order to fully develop it, one must engage others or another, however, specifically those with whom one doesn't already find common ground or much interaction. See, the big idea is to conspire and plan the best one can in the manner of a renewed life with a fresh consciousness in hands. Requires educating oneself accordingly and then begin bringing it to the world that be. It stands to reason, as the season of spring heats us, or dare I say, puts us in heat, so too do we seek the warm social outlets that get us grooving again and outdoors. However, the challenge in disguise is always hidden in plain sight or perchance denied, is bringing something cherished or special to folks whom we don't really know, whilst dealing with the foibles, fears, and our insecurities, which may be consequential to presenting just that. As usual, being without expectation is always the best practice, as in other words, acting spontaneously is the current best policy and course of action. So be perspicacious, not reckless. In the archaic sense of an empath, intuit, seer, prophet, yea, freak of nature, never really being known to their own people, including family and so-called friends, so too does one innate brilliance through these times likewise go unacknowledged and invalidated by the very people who think and or thought they knew and or know you well, or intimately so even. Because bottom line is, their assumptions are to blame due to confirmation bias and cognitive dissonance being such a bitch to tame, if not a pain in the ass to rehabilitate or retrain. So, in like manner, don't be like them. Such individuals have a hard time, if not can't, separate their past emotional attachment from their present reaction to one's newfound consciousness, regardless of how much or many times such change has occurred or been attempted before. Albeit, one nevertheless needs and therefore seeks outside approval and feedback wherever it, come what may be found. Not forgetting to mention keeping an open ear or two here and there to the ground helps too, in order to better inform, encourage, and yea, empower one's very own growth and development all the more. For all enlightenment and epiphany is intoxicating and profound and marveling and thusly, though it does you absolutely no good to just sit on it idly, does it now? Alas, when one actually brings it to the light of day and lives its experience in the open, is when one's resolve and wherewithal to sustain the wisdom garnered and gained from it, or and any initiation for that matter, is truly tested and thereby tempered. As in new and improved habits are as hard to make as old and outmoded ones are to break, it simply takes practice. That's all, consistently and regularly exercised, lest you fail instead of succeed. in which case simply sent back to the drawing board until you're better prepared and more ready to face given exam again, as it sure as shit surely shall come again. And right now is a particularly potent and tender time to anchor that change, which becomes the base and shiny new dock for thee to cast off. So carpe noctem, Henri. And the excursion and or foray need not be sailed or tread alone, nor should it be necessarily, for there is indeed also much growth and healing in close companionship and community. Curious caveat to this and that business just mentioned above. Given recent recurrent ordeals down here, count yourself lucky if you can meet and be met by an already established community. Considering what anxiety and separation all of us, worldwide no less, have gone through and continue to process, endure, adjust to, having left as radically changed as can be, unable to greet the days as never before, nor be as we used to be, for a and or the new paradigm has indeed begun and is well underway. So, meet the new boss. Abnormal as it's becoming, hope it ain't at all like the old one. Deep for an easy sigh. Well, the times are ripe to find thyself a new mindset with thoughts anew too, as well as fresh support systems to also further assist you. So make that fresh start out of thy newfound awareness. Despite it being given against our collective will or desire, take a chance to blossom and bloom instead of remaining fallow or wallowing around. After all, what more have you got to lose? Shit doth happen to everyone, or didn't, or don't you know? Ideally, one should have already purged, processed, or developed some sort of new perspective already, and even a direction, especially in meeting one's innermost being, mentally and spiritually speaking. For those who took this gifted time just past that sublimely and or seriously, see 331's post, the potential tribe should be appearing clear in the mind's eye of brand spanking new people to help one and all go that much further and deeper still, because they aren't there. Rock bottoms teach us things no amount of mountain climbing could ever achieve. So dive or slip right in. The modus operandi is warm and matters not. What does are the open possibilities presently surfacing and showing themselves. As to those who don't, didn't, or haven't yet felt same said closure and subsequent shift in composure, the narrative is more akin to just having been on one's first dizzyingly, grueling, and yes, frightening roller coaster ride, brazenly wanting to express and share the harrowing experience in as much life-altering detail as it excitingly entailed. Yet, one may also still be sort of rattled and not quite back to stasis, if not fatigued, shaken, or shook, as in, what the hell just happened? One's understanding turned upside down. Wow. The meaning of it all. And another thing, how's one supposed to situate it in some common space with another, let alone to others anyway? Could be and can be an uncomfortable prospect and or dynamic showing such vulnerability in the first place, to be sure. But share one must. Tis vital for survival. Better understand and find purpose and meaning in what one knows and calls for, that is, requires, by taking given awareness into others and into new places, only to merrily come full circle again somewhere downriver or around the bend, while withholding one's pride and true nature, or self, aside from being downright selfish and unnatural, unfortunately aspires to nothing more than escapism at best, coveting, to put it puritanically, apathy in terms of lowliness, or worst case scenario, sheer indifference, the greatest offense in the universe. However, when one can hold their knowledge amidst such diversity, does it truly become wisdom? Fortunately, right now just so happens to be the native and your prime time of the season, which in turns to do just that. Oh, and to find oneself a wholly new garden and try. Precisely when the new forces and resources one really needs now are most readily available for the optimal evolution of individual and communal wisdom to thrive and prosper. The very edict of life thereof. Yet another significant opening up facet related to this time harks smack dab back to the middle of the winter's dark depths, much earlier in the elder Earthlark's calendarized year, when and where, just below the surface, our sacred seeds lie waiting in dormant anticipation for the increasing sun's rays, when all living things naturally excavate hidden life forces in silent hibernation and lumbering slumber. Knowingly or unbeknownst to them, 'tis the chilly Niflheimer principle from the old Norse stories of creation, where life does not spring forth spontaneously from fire, nay, perish the explosive thought. It is universally wrought, born of, and kept on ice, developing ever so incrementally, like cells of a body going through meiosis or mitosis in exponential perpetuity. Hence, the accelerating and expanding universes measured and seen by its telltale redshift signs. Check the science. And like light, life is indestructible and constant in flux, coming into being when ready and able to, eternally part of every and all living things, great and small, near and far, and as above, also below, don't you know? Meanwhile, them are so-called sacred seeds, hidden life forces, or spandrels in disguise that have been sown, incubating, and gestating, are slowly but surely growing ready to burst out of their literal and virtual shells, duly cued by none other than dearly beloved Mother Nature herself, as she gently exerts the appropriate atmospheric pressure and support, fulfilling those very wants and needs. So sprig and sprout, etc. throughout may occur, and spring once again, as always and ever again in Her Majesty's organic curriculum. Each and every individual one of us is, in our own ways and means, fully accountable and responsible for engaging that process in bringing forth one's unique gifts to bear and sustain one's calling. And part of thy tender tending role has been, should be, and is to ensure thy little saplings have all the care and nourishment they need in order to prosper and thrive. For they aren't thine to begin with. See? Since opportunities are disguised as obstacles or problems, and the bigger the better by the lateral and vertical way, the challenge here is positioning oneself in a state of vulnerability, so to ironically counterintuitively speak, in order to gain and gather the ideal support in the midst of this cyclically recurring experience we call life. Surely one knows the limits of own capabilities, but you need to step out of your comfort zones in order to truly grow, if not for sanity's sake. Yet rest assured, this and that too will be overcome, becoming familiar, part and parcel, rote, and or routine in due course. That is, until the next time you gotta jump out on a limb, in another leap of faith somewhere else down the line. And yeah, you can't go wrong giving what one has excess of, other than knowing, alas, no good deed ever goes unpunished. Suffice to say, educate yourself and learn what else need to be known for sustainability and safety's sake. Take the initiative and the endeavor by the horns, for wishful thinking, hoping, and praying ain't gonna get you there. Seriously, folks. Get fucking real. Really. Otherwise, these and those seedlings won't hatch or reach their upcoming growth potential or apex, and hence replenish the delicious fruit bowls and bountiful harvests of thy immense labors already spent for same. So let none of it be in vain. Allegorically speaking, said sacred seeds represent totally new thoughts, which in turn into new consciousness, whilst the microcycle that's been playing out since the coldest of days begs us to change our consternation or stubborn minds and ways about something we've been avoiding or reluctant to address, and thus further allow the necessary support and systems to join in facilitating and fostering given change. Mind ever being the builder of physical results. One's main goal being, whatever you do, don't sabotage, squander, or stifle the precious process. Then again, you can't stop what's already begun. So might as well go with the flow anyway. Circumvent cross currents, and cumbersome eddies for time being, and letting them just pass on by like reeds in a stream. Not only shall or should one see the needed shift occur most synchronistically, one also gets the chance to create and or partake in whatever delivery system it takes to get and or see one through momentarily, for going even deeper into further beyond, and yea, higher still, is ever the ultimate destination of will. Just be patient, though certainly not passive. Nurture your delicate roots. Give them plenty of attention, nourishment, space, and time to do their thing. Get it? Got it? Good. And forget about what the future might hold for now. Besides, yesterday's gone. Today's going whilst raising as the dawn. Instead, indulge as vigilantly as possible, attending to personal needs. And for fuck's sake, find or gather a tribe one can vibe with to help support your dreams and endeavors. The tantamount point of this lengthy diatribe all along. And my bad for trying to do good. See disclaimer above. Anywho, whosoever thou art, and whatever shows up, is wholly due to and up to you to decide and choose what becomes of it. As in, MANAS.